The single best mod you can do for your C8 Corvette for under $250. Yep, let's talk about it. Here we are again, guys, talking about throttle controllers. My C8 Corvette Z06 is basically done. It's got all the mods that I want to have done to it, pretty much done. There's one thing left, and that is, of course, the Solar Performance Throttle Controller. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. As you heard there in the beginning, we are going to be talking about throttle controllers again here on the channel. I have done the ported throttle bodies by Solar Performance, and they've been on the car for about 2.5 months at this point, and I wanted to separate the two mods by a bigger margin than what I did with my black Z06, because some people were asking, you know, what the car felt like with this, but without that, and vice versa, and now I'm going to be able to give you a really solid review or experience with just the throttle controller. So we're going to install that today, and I already know what it's going to do to some degree because I've done them in the past on different vehicles, and it really is night and day on cars especially that need extra help in the throttle sensitivity department. Like my Ram TRX, the throttle controller on that truck literally completely changed the driving dynamic of it. Today we're going to put it in the C8 Corvette Z06, and we're going to talk all about the process. I'm not really going to show too much of the installation because we've done that before. Check it out up at the top of this video if you haven't seen it yet. I'll link the install video I did with my black Z06. For the most part, we're going to talk all about the differences in the throttle response and why you should grab one of these things, especially since you can get it for 5% off using code HPO5. Anyway, let's go ahead, throw this thing in the car, and get moving. So here it is, in this tiny little box. This is the thing that literally alters your driving experience, and you can tailor it to your specific needs. So if you like it more sensitive, got you covered. If you like it less sensitive than stock, yeah, got you covered. If you're looking for fuel economy, got you covered. This thing literally does it all. Let's do it. All right, so like I said, I'm not going to show a lot of the install of this, but ultimately we're going to come into the car right down here. We're going to take out that floor mat and get right to the gas pedal there. You can actually see that little plastic insert. We're going to pop that out, take out a 10mm, and then that entire assembly will come out. And we can plug the throttle controller in between the stock wire harness and the back of that actual throttle, and then just put it back together. After we do that, we're about ready to take a ride. All right, so here is the gas pedal removed from the car. Like I said, just one 10mm bolt right there, and then a little rubber plug that goes in there behind it. But the connector we're looking for is right there. So it's right on the back side of the actual throttle or gas pedal. And we'll go ahead and take the power end of the Solar Performance throttle controller and just plug it right in there. So it's literally just plug and play. So just pop it in there, you'll hear it click, and then push the red safety tab down. And then on the other end is the other part that will go to the car. So the part that we removed from the gas pedal itself, this will plug into that. Same kind of red safety tab, and that's it. You are ready to go. Now there is a USB-C cable on the other end that's gonna kind of be routed along up into the center console is where I'll put it, but you're welcome to put yours wherever you'd like. Now you don't even need to use it, to be honest with you, because I'm gonna pair this with my phone and the application there anyway, and that's how I'm gonna control it regardless. And with that app comes something pretty cool where you can actually use that instead of this little screen. And if you do use the Bluetooth app, you can actually have a throttle disable option, which will literally make it a little harder to steal this car if it ever came down to it. But we'll talk more about that in a second. All right, guys, Solar Performance throttle controller is installed in the car. Let's take this thing for a ride. We're gonna actually go to Carson Coffee, and we're gonna drive this thing about an hour. So let's do it. I already know what the hype is about, but I kind of want to experience it again because it's been a while. I have not had a throttle controller on this car yet, but I did have one on my 2023, and the change was magnificent. But it's been a while since I've driven a car with a throttle controller, so let's see what it does. All right, so here we are. Just started up the car. No check engine lights or anything. We have the Solar Performance throttle controller in OEM right now, and of course the OEM feel of the throttle is a little lacking. I already kind of know where I want to be with this, but let's go through them anyway. If I rev it just a little bit, I'm pushing the gas pedal probably about half an inch or so, maybe an inch, before it starts to do anything. Now if we go through the modes here, I already know where I like to be, which is Sport 6. All right, so that's Sport 9. We'll come down to Sport 6. Now the gas pedal, oh yeah, maybe a quarter of an inch I'm pressing it. Probably not even that much before it's doing something. Now you can go higher. We can go to, let's just do, for the sake of the video here, we'll go to ludicrous, which is exactly what it sounds like. And you can go up to 9 on ludicrous. Yeah. If I even think about touching that gas pedal, it's revving. So yeah, I'm going to start with Sport 6 like I normally do. We got a lot of options here though, as you guys can see. The important ones are to note are the economy ones. If you want to do this to save fuel, economy's your friend, and you can always actually just go back to OEM too if you want to kind of pop it in there, or if you wanted to remove it completely, it's going to take you back to OEM. For the sake of this video, I'm going to set it at Sport 6, and I'll be between Sport 6 and Sport 8 is where I usually like to sit. So we'll start with 6 and kind of go from there. Now, like I said, from here, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this, and I'm probably going to pair it with my cell phone. So let's show that app real quick, because I did want to show you the fact that you can lock out your gas pedal. So here's the app from Solar Performance. And as you can see, it is scanning for devices, which it's not going to find anything right now because we haven't paired it yet. But if we go up here to our settings and then into settings, pair device, you'll see my Ram TRX is already on there. I already deleted my old Z06. So from here, we would just hit this little plus down here. This is going to allow us to manually put in an ID, which we can get from this little screen by pressing and holding the 2 buttons together, and it will give us a Bluetooth code, which I'm not going to give you because it's for me. That one on the screen there is not for this. But I'll press and hold those 2 buttons till I get that code, and then I'll input the code here, and then I'll be able to control all of this with my cell phone. All right, and just like that, we are now controlling the app here. So if I change it on the screen here, you'll see it change in real time right there. So let's go up to Sport 9. See it change there, Sport 7. You can kind of see both here, how fast it changes based on this. This is why I'm okay with the Bluetooth aspect here. I'll just control it with my phone. Now from here, if we go into pair device, you'll see that I now have my C8 Z06 and my Ram TRX, so I can kind of select which one I wanted. If for some reason both cars are running and I wanted to change one of these on the fly, I could just come in here and select which one I'm trying to change. But obviously we're in the Z06 now, so we can go back up here. And if we go into settings, this is where you can actually see the option for locking out the throttle. So just for giggles, just to show you, you would do this right before you shut off the car if you're in a sketchy area, basically, as an added level of insurance. But basically, we'll go ahead and check that. So the throttle is now locked. And if we look down here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but my foot, I'll put it on the throttle and push it. Nothing. Come back in here, and on the fly, turn that off. And now, no problems. So kind of an added security bonus to this whole thing, but I just wanted to show you guys that real quick before we take this car for a drive. But let's go ahead and head out on the road. I'm going to unplug this because we don't need that anymore. I'll do all the changes that I need to make will be done on the app here from this point forward, and they're all done from right here. All right, so I've already noticed, yeah, especially at stoplights or when you come to a full stop, the dead pedal in this gas pedal, or the dead feeling, I guess I should say, in the gas pedal, is gone. It's it's really weird. What I'm about to say is definitely strange, and I know that it shouldn't work this way, but it does feel like the car is faster. It feels that way. It obviously is not actually any faster. But I feel like what this is really doing is it's remapping or giving the better sensitivity to the pedal that it needs after the mods that I've installed. So the Solar Performance cats, the throttle bodies from Solar Performance, the Eventuri intake, all of it needs a different mapping to this pedal because of the extra power. The curve is obviously changed. The torque curve and just the power in general comes on differently than it used to. And this throttle controller in Sport 6 is what I have it on now. And honestly, if I fine-tune it at all, it'll probably go down to either Sport 4 or Sport 5. Because right here, it is basically perfect. It's the way that these mods should feel. And it feels snappier. Like whenever I go to get on the gas, it wants to go. Which is what this is how the car should be. Now, this is a little bit different than how I did it on my black car, because I added the controller literally a day after I put on the throttle bodies.
I lived with the throttle bodies on this car for roughly 3 weeks, maybe even a month, before I added the throttle controller, because I wanted to really feel the separation this time. And honestly, if you're in the market for one of the two of these, you're only going to buy one of them, I would have told you with my black car to buy the throttle bodies. I think the throttle controller makes the bigger difference. And that is way outside of the norm for me to say, because the throttle bodies do make a huge difference, don't get me wrong. But this throttle controller makes this car feel totally different. And it's probably partially because of the mods, but I know that this car, even from factory, even stock, had a little bit of a dead spot in that gas pedal before it would start to move. Now it just goes. It just eases into it and goes. This thing cures the problem that GM programmed into the throttle on this car. And that's a huge, huge thing. I really love, if you can't tell, guys, I'm really loving this. And honestly, every single mod I've done to this car, power-wise, so that'd be the Soul Performance Sport Cats, Solar Performance, 91mm ported throttle bodies, even Turi intake, and even the AWE exhaust. All of them play so well with each other that they improve the car tenfold. But then you put this throttle controller on there, and it does exactly what the title of the product says it will do. It controls that throttle, and it allows you the adjustability to find the best sweet spot for your car, whether it's stock or whether you've done all the mods that I've done. Because if you think about it, the throttle mapping hasn't changed in this car, but the mods have. So the power comes on differently, like I said. So you need something that's going to kind of work with that. Even right there, from the stop sign, like it's just so much more responsive with this throttle controller. And again, you're putting all these mods on there. You need something to kind of remap that throttle, because obviously we don't have the ability to tune this car. And this is the way to do it, because you can remap it. If you like the way it is stock, great. You can actually leave it in OEM, and you don't have to actually change the way that it's mapped. If you want it more sensitive like me, like even if that stop sign's just there, the car just moves so much more freely, and it gets rid of that dead spot that the throttle has from factory. But again, even if you wanted to leave it OEM, you got all the same mods I did, or maybe you didn't. Even if you're just leaving the car completely OEM and you want to add the throttle controller, there's still a reason to do so, because you're going to have more control over the throttle, and you're going to have that ability to lock out the gas pedal for theft purposes. We're going to have a lot more about the theft thing coming in the future, but for now, this is an option. You can have it specifically for nothing else other than locking out that gas pedal. And really, the price of the throttle controller is $220. I mean, that's great for an anti-theft device, let alone all the functionality and the preciseness that you'll have with the throttle controller in general. Even if you bought this thing for nothing else other than the throttle lockout, mark my words. And look at this. Look at this. What are the odds of this? We got a Z06, a Stingray up at the top, and a Z06 at the bottom, literally being delivered in my town. And this guy's about to hit me. Oh, okay. Well, that guy shouldn't have come through here, but interesting that just happened. Anyway, back to the throttle controller. Oh, wow, guys. All right, so, yeah. Even just cruising around town. I'm obviously in drive, so I'm not even paddle shifting right now. And honestly, in drive is where you're going to notice the biggest difference with this thing. I mean, you do feel it even with the paddles, but the car driving itself is where you're going to notice the biggest difference, because it never wanted to just go. There was always like a full second almost of dead spot in the first gear, and it's not pretty. So throttle controller, guys, as usual, getting a big thumbs up for me, and especially for the price and the fact that you can return this thing if you don't like it. I mean, there's really not much to say negative here. I mean, if you don't like the thing, you return it, you get your full money back. It's a no questions asked kind of thing. Again, huge thumbs up for me, guys. Check it out in the link down below. Use the code HPO5 to save yourself some money on one. So even though it's $220, you can actually save some money on it just for the fact that you saw this here on the Horsepower Obsessed YouTube page. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Really enjoyed this product, the ease of installation, the amount of change that it makes for the car. I can't stress it enough. I know you're not driving the car, so you guys can't feel this, but trust me when I say this thing is massive. Especially on the Z06. I mean, I've had my C7 CR1 for 6 years now, and honestly, I didn't love the throttle controller on that car. In my opinion, a manual transmission car doesn't need one, especially that year, and that particular kind of car didn't need it like this one does. This one had such a dead spot that it's just like, it's a no-brainer. Anyway, I'm done ranting and raving, but check out the link in the description down below, guys. Use HPO5, save yourself some money on one, and let me know down in the comment section, especially if you don't have one currently. If you do end up buying one and you install it, let me know in this video, in the comment section, what your thoughts are on it, because I can guarantee you are going to absolutely love it the same amount that I do. But guys, subscribe if you haven't yet, and as always, stay obsessed.